guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title of this video, today I wanted to go over 5 of my top newborn must-haves. I just wanted to do a brief overview of the things that really helped us in our newborn journey. I am a first-time mom, so I went into this completely blind and having no idea what would work best for us. So I thought that I would just share 5 of the things that helped us the most. I just want to clarify that these may not work for everybody. Sorry, my card ran out of storage, but what I was saying was, when we were pregnant, we received opinions from everyone, which we were so thankful for, but a lot of the opinions were conflicting. Some people said that they loved certain things, some people said they hated certain things. So this is completely my opinion on what worked best for us and our baby, so it may not work for you, but I just wanted to share the things that worked best for us in case you are having a baby and you are looking for some reviews, because I watched a ton of these videos before we had our little girl. So jumping right into it, the first thing that I loved was the Hakka. If you are planning on breastfeeding, you have probably heard of this, or even if you're not, you probably have heard of this. Mine is cloudy now because I put it in the dishwasher, so if it looks a little dingy, that's why. But I love this. I used it so much when Avery was first born. I don't so much use it now because my supply is starting to regulate and be more established. But when we first came home and I was first trying to get my supply up, this was very, very helpful for me. I recommend going on to Hakka's Instagram and watching some of their videos because they were really helpful for me. But I mainly used this for let down on one side while I was nursing her on the other, because if you have breastfed before, maybe this happened to you, but when you are nursing your baby on one side, you will get a letdown on the other side, and most of the time it just soaks your shirt or your breast pad, whatever you have on. But this catches all of that letdown. And it is very good for if you're trying to start a breast milk supply, like a storage. So when I would use this, I would get maybe 1 ounce to 2 ounces on one side, mainly 1 ounce, and then when I would switch her to the other side, I would put it on the opposite side, even though she had already nursed on that side, and there would be another letdown on that side sometimes, and I would get an extra ounce. So I could get about 2 ounces per feeding at the beginning, but I have seen where people get a lot more than that. I also used this whenever I was engorged or she didn't completely empty me, but I didn't want to get my breast pump out and get all the parts and get it all set up. I just wanted to quickly get what was left over or what was hurting me. You can also use this as a manual pump. That was something that I learned on the Hakka's Instagram as well. You just put it onto your breast and then squeeze it. There's a certain way to do it. Again, I would go watch their tutorials, but it would help release all the milk that she did not get out of my breast. So it was really helpful. Again, I love this thing. It was amazing, and I highly recommend it if you're planning on breastfeeding. The next thing that I recommend, which I don't have with me because it is in the room where Avery is taking a nap, is the Hatch sound machine. I know that people rave over it, and I know that it is a huge hit, but I cannot explain enough how amazing it is. She cannot sleep without it. We cannot sleep without it. It is definitely something that we are obsessed with at this point. We just play the white noise all night long and during her naps, but it comes with a bunch of different noises, and you can set the color to whatever you want. We set it to red while we were sleeping so that whenever she wakes up in the middle of the night, I can see a little bit to get her out of her bassinet, and then once I get up, I change it to the white light so that it is brighter. when I'm changing her diaper or if I need to see a little bit better. But I love it. I love that you can control it from your phone, and it is Wi-Fi, so I can fix it in different rooms. It's basically just a sound machine, but I highly recommend getting one, and we love the Hatch if you are in the market for one. The third thing that we loved were these Velcro swaddles. This one is wrinkled because it's been in her drawer, but this is the Ziggy Baby brand. I just purchased these off of Amazon and I love them. So when we first had Avery in the hospital, I thought that she hated swaddles. I might have even mentioned in a past video that she hated swaddles. So we did not swaddle her when we brought her home. And that worked fine for a couple of weeks. But around the month mark, she started not sleeping well anymore, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it turns out that she would startle herself back awake with her arms because she could not settle. So I remember that we bought these, and I just thought maybe I would pull them out and try them and see if like constraining her would help her sleep a little bit better. And these 100% worked, and she would sleep amazing. I think it is thanks to these that we started getting like 5-6 hour stretches. Now she's 2 months old and she is back to not wanting to be swaddled because she likes to sleep with her hands up at her face. But when the Moro reflex or the startle reflex, I'm not sure which one it's called, was very high, these were amazing, and they are super affordable. I think I bought these in a pack of 3 off of Amazon, but I will link those down below. I also love that you can make these really tight. She was a very strong baby. I say that, but I don't know if all babies are. But when we would swaddle her in just regular swaddle blankets, she would immediately rip her arms out of them, so they were kind of useless for us. But these she could not break out of, and we can make them really tight, not too tight, but just tight enough to where she felt really constrained and was unable to break free, and that is why I love these. The third thing, which again I don't have in here, is a lounger. We have the Snuggle Me Lounger, and then we also were given the Boppy Lounger, which if you have looked into that, it is now recalled. But we have both of those loungers. And a random side note, if you follow Snuggle Me on Instagram, they will make frequent posts. It might be every Thursday, I would double check, but they have a sale on their Snuggle Me's that are, trying to think of the word, like didn't pass quality control, but none of it is for a safety reason. It is either like a miscolor of a certain color that they have, or the stitching in one area is not perfect, so they end up selling them for I want to say 50% off, maybe not so much, I don't know, go check on their Instagram. But I snagged the Snuggle Me that I wanted in the color that I wanted for like, I want to say it was half off. It was really cheap. It was an amazing deal, and the only reason why they were putting it on sale was because there was a miscolor in one area, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've never found it. So you can barely tell the issues that they have. They just didn't pass quality control, so they have to sell them at that discounted price. And they don't have every color all the time, but definitely follow them on Instagram and keep up with that if you were wanting the Snuggle Me but you didn't want to pay that price, because sometimes you can get really good deals on those. And we love ours. She uses it all the time. I know that they're not recommended for safe sleep, but we use them when she takes snaps and we supervise it. She also has the outlet monitor on, which is another must-have, but we love ours. And as far as the Boppy Lounger, they are recalled, but I'm going to be honest, we used ours and we still use ours sometimes. When she was a newborn, we used it to sit her on the couch with us, to have her a little elevated and propped up. She loved it. We never left her alone to sleep in it. We never walked away from her in it. So anyways, I'm not recommending that you get the Boppy Lounger because it is recalled, but I think as long as you are watching her and she is sitting right beside you, which is how we use it, I loved mine. She loved it. She loved to lay in it and she was propped up so she could look around. So either way, definitely a lounger or somewhere that you can lay the baby beside you on the couch or on the counter. Just somewhere where you can bring them with you. She doesn't love her swing, so putting her in her swing and walking away was something that we couldn't do and still can't really do. We have to kind of bribe her into the swing with the pacifier and make sure she's really drowsy. So having a lounger that we could carry with us from room to room and lay her in while we were doing stuff and she could see us was amazing. So if you do not have some kind of portable baby lounger, I highly recommend getting that as a newborn. And the last thing that I recommend, which I just decided to put this in here like today, is this electric nail file. So this is one of the things that people told me that I would never use and it was pointless and I would hate it. But let me tell you, I love it. So when she first came home from the hospital, they told us that we were not allowed to clip or bite her nails at all. And so we had her in like mittens and the sleepers with the fold over mittens, but for the outfits that she had her hands out, she would scratch her face all up. So I got this out and I tried it. I think she was less than a week old and I hated it because I was afraid that I was filing her skin off. I wasn't, but I just panicked and was afraid that I was going to. So I put it away and thought that I would probably never use it. So fast forward to when she was a month and I went to clip her nails. I clipped her skin and I cried and it was terrible and she cried, but it really wasn't a big deal. She was perfectly fine. I barely nicked her, but still the mom guilt set in and it was terrible. So every other time I went to clip her nails, it was like I just couldn't. I would freak out. I was so afraid I was going to clip her again. So I got this back out once she was like a month and I decided to use it again and I loved it. So it comes in this little case and it comes with different grit of files and then this is a buffer. It comes with the little motor and then you click different directions. It also has a light. It does not go very fast. It is not very hard at all. And if you bear down too hard, if you put too much pressure, it will stop itself. So it doesn't just keep going and going and going and grind their skin. I used the second highest grit, I guess is what you call it, and it has not damaged her skin at all. It hasn't hurt her. She doesn't cry, and it files her nails down, and I don't have to worry about nicking her skin. So I know I said at the beginning of this video I was only going to do 5 baby must-haves, but I'm going to do 6. For the 6th baby must-have, I know that this is very controversial. I know that this is very expensive, but it's so worth it to me, and that is the Owlet baby monitor. I understand that there's a lot of controversy behind it, but that was one of the #1 things that I was not going to budge on when we got pregnant. That was a must-have for me, and I did not care. We were going to get it. We use it every single night, and I love it, and I sleep so much better with it. I have such a peace of mind, and I know that putting your trust in something like that is kind of scary, but I cannot recommend it enough. I went into it with the thought of if there is anything that I could possibly even maybe prevent SIDS in any sort of way more than what I could have already done, then it was worth it for me. So yes, it is expensive. Yes, it is controversial, but to me, it was one more added thing that I could do to possibly prevent my baby from SIDS, and that was non-questionable for me. I very strongly believe in that, and a lot of people have argued with me on not using it, but I don't care. I love it. We've never had an issue. And then I can also check the app, which I do a lot if I'm not standing beside her. She wears it every single night. She wears it for her naps, and I can go on the app and see her oxygen and heart rate in that exact moment. I can also look at the chart, and it will tell me how she slept, when she woke up, and all of the different variables, and I love that as well, because when we first came home from the hospital, I was very strict on how long she slept, waking her up, and I wanted to keep track of that. And then as she got older and we weren't having to wake her up every so often to eat, and we could just let her wake us up, I was very curious on when she was waking up, when she was going back to sleep. I was very curious on when she was waking up and how long she was sleeping for her stretches. So I tried to remember them, and you would think that that would be super easy. But when you are very tired in the middle of the night, you wake up the next morning and you don't remember what time you woke up throughout the night. And I would try to keep a log of it in my notes, but again, there were some nights I was so tired that I didn't. I would just wake up, feed her, and put her right back down. So I can go on to the Owlet app, and I can see exactly when she woke up, when I picked her up, fed her, and put her back down, and when she went back to sleep. So I was able to see what her stretches were through the app, and it keeps all the information there, and I loved it. I also want to add, if you're not aware, the Owlet is not able to be bought anymore currently, I believe. I could be wrong because I had our Owlet and the app before all of this happened, but I believe that the Owlet is no longer on the market, or you can buy it and you can't buy the app. I'm not sure which one, but I do know that they are expecting to release a similar product in January, so this next month, I believe, according to the email that I received from Owlet. So if they release it again, and if it is similar, I highly recommend it. I love our Owlet, and I will use it forever and with every single one of our babies. Okay, so now that I'm getting off of my soapbox for the Owlet monitor, that is all. That is 6 of the must-haves that we used with Avery as a newborn that really helped simplify and make the process a lot easier, and things that we just genuinely loved. I hope that these products help you if you're in the market for things to make your newborn journey a little easier if you're expecting. I hope that these were able to help you out some if you were questioning getting some of these products as well. But that is all for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.